I'm gonna share my slides, and I just want a thumbs up that you guys can see my slides. Yep, yes,
Nope.
nope. Okay, now I bet you can.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, I'm just gonna expand you so I can see all your lovely faces. And please, if you have a question during this, just jump in, interrupt me right there, okay? All right, so let's talk about mastering Google Workspace. The first thing I want to do is just explain what Google Workspace is. Google keeps changing what it's called all the time, and it can get confusing. So this is the definition of Google Workspace. It's a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools, software products. It started out in 2006 as Google Apps for your domain, which I actually don't remember that. And then it was rebranded G Suite, and now it's called Workspace. So I'm going to talk to you about all of the different components of it, but most of us know Google Drive, Google Sheets, Google Docs, things like that. Okay. Now, a big question that I get all the time is paid versus free. And people, I can't tell you how many times a day, so I'll tell someone how to do something in Google and they'll say, is that paid or free? And so I thought, let's just like walk right into that. So the first difference between paid and free is that with paid, you get double the space. So there's 15 gigabytes of space versus 30 gigabytes of space. And you know, everything I'm about to say could all change tomorrow, or it might have changed this morning because it's very fluid. So feel free to Google any of these things if you want to know the answer. For me, the reason I use Google Paid, and the reason I've been using it for about 9 years, is that I want my custom email address. My email address is belinda@rocketgirlsolutions. It's not rocketgirlsolutions@gmail.com. And for business owners and entrepreneurs, I'm really passionate about how important that is. Even if you've been in business for 10 seconds, you really don't want to have that at Gmail or help you AOL or any of that, which I see. I've worked with almost 250 businesses over the last 11 years, and I definitely see that. But that is that's something you want to change, and it's not difficult at all. Also, paid versus free. With paid, you get 24/7 support. You can call Gmail; they will answer the phone, and that is worth a lot to me. To be able to have a client that's having an issue and to be able to figure that out. Also, no ads. That may or may not be a sticking point for you, but when I'm working, I'm already bombarded with enough stuff. I want to keep the ads at bay. So I chose Gmail originally over 365, mostly because I was using Outlook desktop at the time, and the world was turning into more of a cloud space, and the integrations were becoming frustrating and syncing and all of that. There were all these plugins that were not highly developed. I think that 365 now, that has changed with most of the applications that I use, but I just find that Google is so compatible with everything that it's been really worthwhile. So let's talk about how much it costs, because that's another question. So you can see here, there's a $6 option and a $12 option. The Business Plus, I think, doesn't apply to any of us, so I probably could have left that right off the slide. But you can see the differences really are, you get the custom email in both of them. You have more participants in the ability to record video meetings, but most of us are using Zoom. There's definitely more, storage. But so what I'm talking about, I didn't say this, is the $6 versus the $12. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. There's a $6 version and a $12 paid version. I use the $6 version. The thing that I just want you to see is that I think with any software, it's important to either start with the free version or the cheapest version, the least expensive. And then when you hit up against any kind of barrier, then upgrade. But I don't suggest saying, well, I'm probably going to need 2 terabytes in a year, so I might as well do it, because upgrading is literally, for 99% of applications, it's a click of a button and then they hit your credit card. So it's a good idea to go in, and I'm this business that Lisa's talking about with all these things I've got going on, I am cruising right along at $6 a month without any trouble at all. Now, when you sign up for Gmail, what happens is they give you a free, I think 7 or 14-day trial, and they do it at the $12 rate. What you want to do immediately is to downgrade to the $6, because we will all forget and we won't know how to do it. And in fact, I'm going to show you right now how to do that because I think it's important. So I'm going to be bopping back and forth between this and my different applications. So what you would do, so this is my Gmail here. You would click on this cogwheel right here. See all set. Oh, no. Manage this organization. So that's managing your account. So if you have multiple people with email addresses, a VA, or somebody that's working in your organization, you click manage this organization. I have to verify myself. Thanks to LastPass, it's going right in. And then you want to manage your subscriptions. So you sign up for it, you manage your subscriptions, you go right in here. Whoops, no, I clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on. Add or upgrade a subscription, and you're going to want to choose basic. So it would show downgrade here, and basic Gmail is what you want to choose. Okay, any questions about that so far? Okay. All righty. All right, so there's a lot of things that are included in Google Workspace, and it's changing all the time. Things are being taken away and things are being added. And we're going to talk about the applications that people use the most. But this is what all of them are. Some of them, like Currents, that's something that's really for an enterprise-wide solution, so we won't be talking about that. But most of the time, people are using Gmail, Drive, Calendar, Docs, Sheets. Slides I find massively annoying, and we're going to talk about Keep. And where you are able to access all of these is in the upper right corner of whatever Google application you're in. You'll see those 9 circles. If you click on that, all of it will open and it's right there, and you can choose which application that you want. I'm just going to look in the chat and see if we have any questions that. Okay, great. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so now I'm going to show you some examples. And I'm going to put this over here so I can see it. And this is my little cheat sheet. Okay, so let's walk through. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is creating tabs in Chrome. Chrome is part of the solution here. So if you see right here, I have 3 tabs: Rocket Girl, EWC, and where I live the most, MailChimp. And they're all under this tab. So I can go like that and they all collapse, or I can open them and they it all expands. So the reason that is really cool for me and potentially other people is, let's say you're working on a project or a client. So I have one client that I have 6 tabs open all the time, because at any moment in time, a question will come up and I don't want to have to go look through Drive. I don't find it particularly intuitive. So I just leave all of his tabs open, and then I can just go to them right away, and then I can close them if they're in the way. So how you do this is going to, let's go to this tab. You click add to group. You can either create a new group or I can add it to research. So let's start a new group. And by the way, every time I demonstrate this, it doesn't work the first time. So just so you know, okay. All right, let's call it EWC and let's make it purple. And this is the part where it falls apart. Move group into new window, close group, ungroup. I'm just gonna hit enter. Okay, so it worked. Okay, this is the first time. And you can see that, and then I can move other tabs in here as well. Let's see. Add to the group, EWC. And I just love how it keeps everything cleaned up, because I have probably 5 sets of tabs open in Chrome right now, and each one of them has, well, if I showed you over here on this other screen that I have 25 or 30, and some of that is just me moving quickly through my day. And the rest of it is, some of them are organized like this. So I find that to be a nice thing to do to keep things organized. All right, let's talk about.
One question before
Yes,
you.
yes.
Where did you initiate that tab?
Hmm.
By right clicking? Like I didn't see exactly.
Good question. Good question. All right, so we have a brand new tab and it's not in a group. See,
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we go like this.
Yep.
And you can add it to a group or you can start a new group.
Oh, that's great. That's all. Thank you.
You didn't miss it. I didn't do that. Okay.
Okay, good.
All right.
And I just have a quick, and I was taking notes, so it was like back and forth. So then you can drag the other tab into that.
I don't think you can drag. Let's try that.
Oh,
yeah, you can. You can drag.
Okay.
Let's see if that works. Yep, you can drag. What I was doing was right mouse clicking and adding it to the group. So there's 2 different ways you can do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty handy.
Sorry, Belinda.
Yes.
I have a question. So can we do this in Firefox, or is this like specific to Google Chrome?
I do not know. Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
I have another question. So when you leave and you come back in again, do they pop up, or where are they? Where do they show up?
I never close my browser or my computer. So I do not know. But you know what? All right, this is what we're going to do. Oh, you know what? It's not going to come. Okay, hold on.
If you pin it, it'll probably come back up if it's pinned.
Yeah.
Or if you opened up another one, if you opened up a new Google.
Okay, I'm going to open up a new Google. Hold on. We'll go like this. That's my daughter, not our dog. Okay, hold on. Okay, so here's a new tab. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me get it. See, you're gonna see my life in a minute here. See all
Sorry.
this stuff? It's okay. All right, that's that one. All right, let's just find another new one. Hold on. This is good. All right, so let's go like that. So here we are. And let's go into history. Where will we do that? Well, we got to go to Gmail. All right. That's the wrong Gmail. Hold on one second. I am going to answer this question.
Well, it's up there, the 3 dots up in the upper right.
I was in my Rocket Girl email. That was my Rocket Girl email. I'm doing this demo in the VA connection email, so it definitely would not be there. History, well, recently closed, but that's not the answer to your question. I do not know how that works. But let's see if
it's the 5 tabs underneath it. It's the one right under just recently closed. Usually, at least that's how I find it.
Hold on. Is it here? History, recently closed, 5 tabs. Yeah, so I don't know if you could name that something so that you could get it back. That's a really good question. Yeah, I don't know. But I will follow up with that because that's a really good question.
Belinda, do you have you're on a PC. Do you have any info for Mac users?
Well, Google Chrome is available for Mac users.
Yes. So this should basically work the same for Mac users.
It absolutely does. Yes, it absolutely does.
Okay. I mean, we can't right click, but we can do other things.
Well, I have a Mac too. There is a way to replicate the right mouse click. I think it's either.
Yeah, it's like command or control.
Yeah. Exactly. So it'll work like that.
Okay.
Can I ask
great.
another Mac-based question? With iCloud syncing kind of going sideways a lot lately for Mac users, especially for contact and calendar syncing, I don't know if you're probably on a PC, maybe you're on a Mac, I don't know. Do you find that the contacts and calendar functionality is much better on Gmail, on Google Workspace than on a Mac iCloud sync?
I don't know. I don't have any experience with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just focusing on Google functionality for today. I mean, ask your questions because if I know, I'll tell you. But I use Dropbox and Google and Drive to store all my documents.
And you like it, obviously.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
So I have Mac stuff and I use the G Suite, and I've been using the Google Calendar, and it syncs great with like my iPhone, my iPad, my MacBook.
Yes,
Me too. It's seamless. It works out great.
it is. It is. I have not looked back, you know, and I really had I was a little dug in about Outlook because I started using it when it was invented, literally. And I knew how to do everything. And one of my friends said, you know, I'm so sick of hearing you complain about, you know, the 20 things. I go to a client and they didn't have their Wi-Fi password, so I couldn't look on my computer, and my phone wasn't syncing because it wasn't. And I was going crazy, you know, trying to run my life. And I have a lot going on because that's how I design it, and I need to know where I'm supposed to go next. All right, so let's jump back in over here. All right, what I want to talk about, and I'm going to move this so I don't bump into it again, because there's, okay. All right, so now what I want to talk about are heat maps. Heat maps are really cool because it gives you a visual for your data. So here is some data about my email newsletter, old data. My business, the VA connection. And so here you can see I'm tracking when it was mailed, how many I sent it to, bounds to open, clicks. And I do this for clients as well, just so they can see what's, you know, how things are performing. Now, what this tells me here is, and I'll show you how to do this, the hotter the color, you know, the deeper the color, the more interactive it is. So you can see here, 15% clicks is this darker pink, 1.7 is practically white. So it's a nice way, and my clients totally love this when they see this, because, you know, people love data, but looking at it flat is kind of hard. So let me show you, I'm going to remove the formatting here, or actually I'll add the opt-out formatting. So I'm going to highlight these numbers here. And then I'm going to go to, where am I going to go? Hold on, I'll find it. Right here, format, conditional formatting. And then I want to apply a color scale. And I kind of like the pink. So, so you can choose different format rules. And this is the one that I've been using, white to red. And then you can see that it added the, how many people have opted out. It added the color code. So that's a nice little tip, maybe especially for financial planners, probably too, if they're helping clients with data. Another thing I'm just noticing right here is, see how this is, I can't read all this because it's not wrapping. I'll just show you how to, another couple of tips. So if you highlight the field and you click on format and you click on text wrapping and you say wrap, now all of a sudden that's wrapping. But here's a super cool trick. I use this all the time. This is called the paint formatter. So now this field has the wrap formatting all handled right there. This works in a lot of programs like PowerPoint and Excel. If I click this and then I highlight all of these, what's going to happen is it's going to take the format of this cell and it's going to wrap it around. So it's a nice way to apply, if I had made this purple, well, here, let's just make it purple. Make it blue, make it blue, and we'll bold it. And if I take that format and I say, okay, let's apply it to those, it does. So that's a nice way when you're using information. Okay. All right. So let's jump into Gmail. Okay. So I want to talk about a few things here. One is there's something that's kind of, if you're a spy, it's very helpful. It's called confidential mode. So let's create a new email here. And right down here, you'll see turn confidential mode on. So in confidential mode, I just want to read this to be clear. Recipients won't have the option to forward, copy, print, or download. This message may still be visible in your Google Workspace domain to admins. I don't know what a vault user is, but you have total control over this message. So you can decide when it expires. You can require a passcode so that they know, they have to put in a passcode that you text them in order to get it. So I thought that was pretty interesting if you're sending confidential information, like if you're in HR or something. So that's something that a lot of people don't know about. Also in email, how many of you know about templates in Gmail? They're so cool. So what you do is you're able to create a template and use it over and over and over. So my template, so you click on the, okay, you have to go into your settings and enable templates. And I can show you how to do that. So you're going to, what you want to do is you want to format the email exactly as it will be before you save it as a template. Now, if you already have a signature coming in automatically when you start a new email, you don't want to have that included in your template because Google's going to add that automatically. That took me like an embarrassing amount of time to figure out. So write that down. So I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to remove this. And my template's going to be EWC Rocks, join me at our next meeting. And then I'm going to click on the 3 dots, templates. Whoops, hold on. This is the challenging part. Templates. Save template as a draft. Hold on. I have to give that the subject. Okay. Templates. Save as a draft template. Oh, you guys, hold on. This is one of my pet peeves are these, you have to click it and then you have to go over it again. It's always hard. Save as a draft template, save as a new template, and we're going to call it hello and save. So now if I get rid of this and I create a new email and I say hello, it just adds that information in, including the subject line. The place where I use this a lot is when I have speaking engagements, because I have a form that I give to everyone in the audience that says, would you like a copy of the presentation? Would you like to get on my newsletter? And so what I do is I just divide the papers into the 3, the yes, they want the newsletter. Yes, they want this. Yes, they want that. And then I have templates that I probably have one right here that I'm able to use. Yeah, so here's thank you with 30 minutes. So thanks for attending my presentation as promised. Here you can get time on my calendar. So that way I'm doing it once. And I used to be doing it manually. And when I found out about this is what I started doing. So it's very useful when you're doing repetitive work at all. Okay, and then there's something else that I really love that's called Google Snooze. So for example, let's say that I really want to know about this 45% discount on Lenovo email, but I just need it to go away for the day. I cannot be tripping on it all day long. I just need it to go away. So I can click on snooze here and I can snooze it till next week, or in July, whatever I want to do. It could be, from a family member, there could be an event coming up and you're getting a lot of emails and you just want them to return. So you snooze it. And what happens is it comes right back in your inbox when you tell it to, and it's marked snoozed. So you know that it's not a brand new email. Any questions about any of that? I think I have one more thing in Gmail. I don't know if you guys know about Unsend, but I love Unsend because I can't tell you how many times I'm moving really fast and I send something and then I think, oh, wait. And so I want to have 5 seconds or so to be able to recall it. So if you watch here, I'm going to send an email. I'll send an email to Lisa. And all right, so watch when I send it. I think it comes up right over here on the left. Okay, so I'm going to hit send and then see it says sending undo. Boop, and I got it back. So very useful. You can decide how long you want the undo to, and I'll show you where you change that, how long the undo period is. I used to have it at 10 seconds, but I found that when I was working real time with people and I'm sending them something, they kept saying, I didn't get it, because it's so fast that I would keep saying, all right, hold on, I have a delayed send. So let me show you where to do that. let's see, undo send right here. So it's under settings, undo send. And I guess I do have it at 10 seconds. I probably had it at more than 10 seconds, but that gives me enough time to have a thought, pull it back, and keep going. Other things here that are
I
interesting.
literally needed this yesterday. I wish I had known about it.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, it is really good. It is. I need it all the time. You know, I think, oh, that, you know, or what'll happen sometimes is all of a sudden I'll realize, oh, that's not what they were asking me. And so I pull it back, and it saves space a lot.
Yeah.
Other things, let's see, which email am I in? Hold on. Oh yeah, okay, so conversation view is something else. I don't know if you guys know about conversation view, but one of the things that Google does that's very annoying is it nestles all of your messages together if this is on. And I have to say, it's one of the reasons that I didn't use Gmail for a long time, because I can't live like that. Like I literally can't live like that. And I have a client who I have my own email address with them, and I'm in there all day long, and it's 365, and 365 enabled that automatically. And all of a sudden he's like, what is with you? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm reading everything. And then I realized that that somehow when they something upgraded and they turned on default view, and it was like a whole different world. So I have that turned off because I want to see each message, because in conversation view, you can miss whole threads. And to me, it's high risk and dangerous behavior. So you definitely want to turn that off. If you want email signatures, you can do that right here. And you can have different email signatures for different email addresses. So for example, if someone sends me an email at belinda@aduroconsulting.com, this is a client, when I hit reply, that's the signature. I will be replying from that email, and that signature will be the one that gets used.
Belinda, can I ask you a question about that? This is
Sure.
Sue. When I use that, a lot of times when I'm replying, it sends my signature all the way to the bottom and not right under where I say, you know, thanks, Sue, or when I put my name. Instead, it's all the way on the bottom. Is that a conversational view thing that I can undo, or no?
No, but you know what I'm
happening
wondering? I'm wondering if so see right here, so here's what I'm wondering. If you're replying, so is your signature already there? Because what I'm wondering, yeah, okay. So I think this is turned off. So you want to turn on for new emails, use my signature versus no signature, because I think what's happening is you're sending an email, your signature's at the bottom, they're sending you an email, their signature shows up, you reply, there's no signature, because I bet you $100 that this is not turned on.
Okay. All right.
So no, it's not that. It's this one on reply.
It's the
report.
reply, right?
Yeah. It's right next to it. So it's signature defaults about 2/3 of the way down on the settings page. Yeah.
All right.
Reply,
I'll double check. I thought it was there, but maybe not. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, check. Yes, and then I always check this box too, insert the signature before quoted text. So make sure that's checked as well. But when I start to work with clients, the first thing I do, I set up Gmail for a lot of people. I turn off conversation view, I enable reading pane, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and try to make it look like the experience that they've been having, you know, with all their other email clients. Because those are the two things I think that are annoying about Google. Like Greg got a new job a couple weeks ago, and he was just, I could hear him. He's so upset. And I go downstairs, he's working downstairs, and I went down, I'm like, what is up? He's like, these stupid conversations, I can't find anything. And I'm like, boop. And then that was done. So it's just, it's important. It's an important thing to know. All right, so let's talk about, also, I want to talk about conversation or preview pane. So preview pane is where you can see, it's kind of like Outlook or Apple Mail. You know, here's all my folders. Here are the emails that are coming in. And then here's the preview. Typically what Google does is it just shows you a list all the way down, which I find massively annoying, because I spent a lot of my time saying, wait, what was that? Oh yeah, okay. And you can't do that, and it's very difficult. So how you can turn that on is if you click settings, you can scroll down here, and I just noticed this today. These are sort of quick settings. and you can click right here and you can have it go no, so no split is, this is what it usually looks like. You can split below. So now it's here underneath, or you can do it to the right. I noticed also that you can turn conversation view off right here as well. This, I haven't seen this before. So that's handy. They must know that it's crazy annoying. Okay.
Linda, I have a question.
All right.
You have me set up on Gmail, but I use Apple Mail's, layer.
Mhm.
And I bet that there might be some other people here too who have that extra layer there. What would you say to somebody like me who is using the Apple Mail application instead of Gmail to help me consider switching solely over to Gmail?
Well, what is the thing you think you'll lose?
I wonder if it's just because I'm so used to what it looks like. I wonder if it's that. I wonder if I'm just used to it. I don't know what I would lose. That's a great question.
I'm always a big fan in working in the native application, using Gmail in Chrome on a browser. I have had clients have hiccups before. I can't think specifically what they were, but there were things that, where there were delays, or they were trying to forward something, or they were trying to integrate the calendar, like with Acuity or something else. So have always been a big fan of, unless there's a big benefit of using the native application. It was a big deal for me to move to Gmail. I went kind of kicking and screaming. And what I did was I hired someone to help me because this was 9 years ago and you couldn't do it yourself. You had to buy it through a reseller. It was a whole thing. And I have all of this, I have a lot of history from past businesses because I have receipts and stuff for taxes in case I need them. And I was just in fact asking Greg, he's a CPA, last night, how long do I have to keep this stuff? And I'm getting ready to send it over the bow and delete it, a lot of it. But I hired somebody because I wanted it all to be migrated. I was afraid because I had a retail business and, I was getting receipts every day and I was not printing them out. They're all in there, but they're all in there. So anyway, but once I moved in, I have to say within 2 or 3 days, once I turned off conversation view, got the reading, pane set up in my signature, I was very happy. And if something isn't working, it bugs me. And I've just never had a problem with this. And the integrations to everything are just like click, 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 you're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Linda, along with what Lisa was asking, I think it's kind of like my question too, is that I'm so used to I have 2 emails, my personal business. I'm so used to doing everything on my Mac from the one place, which is, I guess, what Lisa's calling Apple. And so but I have more features if I go directly into Gmail on Chrome. So you're suggesting that's where I should generate my emails from.
Yeah, yes. Unless there's, unless there's a reason that makes sense for you not to, because everybody's different.
Convenience, I guess, but
yeah. And it just depends. Like, so I have a client, Roger, and he's a shade installer, and he needs to use Acuity. So high-end shade installer. He's very talented. And so what I'm doing is I'm integrating all of his calendars into one Gmail account so that Acuity can look at all 3 of them. Acuity is a calendar scheduling software. And so in that case, it just makes sense because I can share the calendar with all his Gmail accounts. He's in one spot, and then, do the integration more easily. So if that's not you and you're not going crazy looking at different Gmail accounts, then I would leave it. For my business, Rocket Girl is one Gmail account and the V8 Connection is a separate Gmail account, and they are not integrated in any way. I do not want them touching each other because my Rocket Girl brain is very different from my V8 Connection brain. My attitude, the brand, when I do the work, I don't want it touching each other. And some people would say, what are you doing? That's crazy. But that's how I'm going to do it. So that's why I'm qualifying it with, well, how does it work? Is it bugging you?
all right, thank you.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So I want to tell you about this. So the other day I knew about this, and the other day, so I have to record a video later today. And I knew someone, my coach, who knows that I was doing this. She recorded a video that was really similar, and I wanted her words because I wanted to start from her words. I didn't want to start from scratch, and I can type pretty fast, but what a pain in the neck it would be to, listen, stop, type, listen, stop, type. So what I did was I turned on voice typing in Google Docs. So if you don't know about this, so what I did was I turned this on. I'm going to show you how to do it. I turned on her video. Some of the words were totally mangled, but most of them were not. And I started from these 3 paragraphs, to create a script for myself. So what you do is you click on tools, you click on voice typing, you click here, and now Google is going to write down everything that I say, period. You have to put in punctuation, ? Because otherwise it will not add it, period. So you could dictate your newsletter, you could dictate a memo, you could dictate an email. I was so happy about this last night, I can't even tell you. And you can see that it's pretty accurate, but you do have to put the punctuation in. I don't think it, well, let's try it. I am going to the zoo, and then I'm going to the grocery store. Tomorrow, yeah, no, it's not putting it in. But that's not a big deal. And in fact, it reminds me of when I was in my 20s and I was a secretary, and the dictaphone, I spent a lot of time with the dictaphone, right? With my foot on the pedal, typing. So anyway, it's kind of funny. But that's something I want you to know about, because I think there are a lot of applications, especially if typing is not your superpower, to at least get the words in there. And if you want a transcription of something, there are probably faster ways to do a transcription. There definitely are, like rev.com, which is not expensive. But if you're trying to write something and you have something to start with that is not in text, that's a good way. Right. I'm going to
also, sorry, I was going to say that's great with texting as well. And you have to put the period and the exclamation point and all that as well.
No, if you say period, it will get it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
Belinda, could you, so we're obviously doing a lot of Zoom calls. I do tons of like organizational assessment work. Could this record like my clients' conversations to me, all the notes that I handwrite and then type up?
Well, okay. So if you're on Zoom, okay, hold on. Let me think about this. So maybe. Well, okay, hold on. Let's try it. Hold on. Okay, I want you to start talking.
Okay, so I'll ask you the question again. If I'm in a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet meeting, and I want somebody to just record everything that my client's saying so I don't have to handwrite it, would it do that?
Yeah, it's doing it right now. Yes. What I was concerned about was, so what I was thinking through was, I was worried about where the sound was going to come through, but I was actually thinking about it backwards, because in order to share computer sound with Zoom, you have to be screen sharing and click that little box, but that's not what we're doing. So as long as the volume's turned up, it looks like yes.
The only thing it won't do is differentiate between the voices. So it'll be one long, I've tried it. So it's just one long paragraph, because you normally have to tell it new paragraph, insert a space. So, I mean, you can go back and edit it. It's just not perfect.
Okay.
Right, because they're not going to say period, exclamation mark, in a paragraph. They're just going to keep talking.
Yeah, so you still have work to do. Depends which thing is most annoying to you, editing a massive paragraph or typing up your notes.
Yep.
Or you can just download the Zoom recording and you can upload it to a service called, I'll show you, rev.com. I've used this a lot because I do transcripts for when I teach for some things, and it's not ideal, but it's really fast. And so I just upload it right there. Now, if you're doing an hour, that's going to probably start getting to be more expensive, but depending on how much you're charging it and how much you are hourly, it might be worth it.
Linda, there's something that on the email that I'm sure you know, but I thought people might be interested if they don't know. On next, going back to, it's the next to the send, where you can choose when you're sending the email.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes, right here. Schedule send. Oh, I don't have a recipient. I'll send it to Lisa again. Yeah, so I can schedule send. I use this a lot. So like if I'm working on Sunday night and I'm working because I want Monday to be a happy place for me, I do not email my clients on Sunday night. I email them depending on the client. You know, if it's a client who I want to be very responsive to, I'll say 8 a.m. If it's a client that I do not want to be that responsive for a number of reasons, none of them evil, I promise, you know, I'll do it in the afternoon. There's different trainings that are happening with our clients as we work together.
Yeah, no, that's great. Cause same thing. I try to set boundaries so my clients don't think they have access to me 24/7. So I try
Right.
not to respond like after a certain time at night or on the weekends. Awesome.
Yeah. And this is great because you can. And the other thing is, so your point, and then the other thing is the reason I'm doing this is to manage expectations, absolutely. But the other reason is because I don't want them to email me back, because now it's in my inbox again. Like, oh my God, you know, trying to like not have that happen. So it's mostly for that reason that I just want to start Monday, because Monday for me is intense because my clients have been thinking all weekend, like, wah ha ha, you know, what do I need? And they, you know, they're out of the gate. And so thank you, Anne. And does anybody have any other thing that's cool about Gmail that I haven't mentioned? There's a million things. I could do probably a whole day on Gmail.
Belinda, are you going to spend any time talking about Google Drive?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna talk about that right now. And you know, I'm not going to talk about calendar, but I can. So let me jump over. I'm going to do it in order that I have it on my list, just so I don't miss something. But it's next after this. So this is really cool. This is called Keep. And what you can do is have location-based reminders. So your phone knows where you are, let's face it, we know that. And let's say that you're going to, well, here, if I'm going to be, I have my picture frame in my car and I'm driving by Jerry's Artorama and I want to return it, it will send me a notification, return frame, which I wish that I had set that up because I kept the frame too long and I couldn't return it. So you can do that. So you start a note. Hold on, taking too long. Hold on, let's go back. Here we go. All right. So the note is bring eggs to Lisa, which by the way, I have a lot of eggs right now. If anybody wants some eggs. So let's see, where did I do this? Remind me, pick a date and time or pick a place. So you can even you can try to type in Trader Joe's in Darien, save. Because this whole thing is connected to Google, right? That's kind of the cool thing. So I can do insane searches in my Gmail and find information from 5 years ago, just by, you know, having that very powerful search engine inside my email. So here you have this, you can pin it. I just think this is useful if you have errands and things that you want to do, or you don't want to be looking for your grocery list. And it will just pop up. So let's jump into Drive.
Belinda, hi.
Hi.
Sorry,
okay.
It's Abigail.
Hi.
Do you use this? And so I used to use Notes, and I found Notes is getting very complicated right now. Like it's not actually syncing that well. So this is replacing that.
Yes, it can. It can. To be completely honest with you, when I leave to go to somewhere, I have a Post-it in my hand. This is what I'm doing. So it's not something that I use, but I thought it was cool and people might enjoy it.
Okay, I'll check it out then. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I don't get out much. All right. My least favorite thing is Google Drive. I do not like Google Drive. I find it, it's messy. It's hard, things get dumped in there that I don't feel like I know how they got there. And I had to give a demonstration on Google Drive one day, and it forced me to clean it. And so I do understand it, but I don't love it at all. So, but I want to tell you how I sort of have beat that feeling. And the way that I beat that feeling is something called priority right here. These are workspaces. So not priority, hold on. Let me refresh this. Maybe I did, let me see if I have that here. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Because I have those two accounts and I don't remember what I have in each one. Okay, so I clicked on priority. I can create workspaces. So there are probably 15 files that I look at all the time. And so you can add them, like I could have, this could be called EWC, and I could have the list of events, I could have the members, I could have the, the newsletter could be in here. So it can all be in this nice little place. So for example, these are things, well, here it is right here, EWC members, member dues and renewals. And the thing is these are top docs. So that's why they're in here, because Google has done that for me. However, if I view the workspace, I can add other documents. So I can look here and I can say, okay, I'm going to add this one. All right, so that's selected, and this one, and then I can insert them. And then when I'm done, this information is all in here, and you can create new ones as well. You can create a new workspace and put any information in there. So that's the way I've kind of come to grips with Google Drive, because I just like it so little. You can drag things around. What I finally did was I created folders here. So some clients send me Google stuff and I finally organized it into here. I've got the VA connection, some information here, a lot of shared folders with my team in here. But it works, pretty much like Dropbox. I just prefer Dropbox so much more.
Linda, with the workspaces, so like I'm collaborating on a client project with another practitioner now, and we're in Google Drive, which to your point, I hate it. Can I create workspaces if I've been invited by another person into their Google Drive?
So I think your question is, if you have documents that are shared and they shared them with you, can you put them in the workspace? Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Belinda, I've found that I'm only using Google Drive is when I'm actually working with someone else, and everything else I do in Dropbox.
That's what I do too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's exactly right. When I'm going to be collaborating, like if I'm writing, it depends on who it is. Like if I'm writing a newsletter and I'm going to send it to Michael Katz, I just email him. But I have other people that I'm working with. I need the ability to share the version in that moment. So if I change something and I share it with someone else, we're not working on versions, because I do have many documents that are like that. So that's really the criteria. If I'm doing the work myself or the client's doing it and they're handing it to me and it's like one and done, like an email newsletter, I don't even save it. It's just gone.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome. So
Actually, may I ask you a question about Michael Katz's stuff?
Sure.
Since you said you send it your newsletter, and if you do it on Google platform, is the video hosted here too? Or is that?
Which video?
When he sends out a newsletter, he does a video of himself, right? I was thinking, I was like,
no, he does an audio.
Oh, it's only audio.
But I can answer the question anyway. So you're not able. So is the question, can you put video in an email? Is that the question?
Well, so does that so I've always been curious, like which comes first? Is it you can translate the audio into a newsletter, or do you do the audio after? Do you read it?
Okay, all right. So what he does,
do you store it all here?
So this is what we do. So Michael Katz is a client, and a lot of you get his newsletter, Blue Penguin Development. I highly recommend it. So what Michael does is he he puts his newsletter into his, delivery system, which is Infusionsoft, which I do not recommend. And then what he does is he speaks his newsletter into Audacity, which is an audio solution. Then what he does is he uploads it to his WordPress website, and then it lives there. The player is right on his website. Then what happens is 3 months later, I go, and then I post that to iTunes. He has an iTunes channel. Then what happens every 3 or 4 months is I go in and I remove all of the videos from WordPress and point them to iTunes directly with a link so that his website is not bogged down with all the audio.
So it has nothing to do. I was hoping you were going to say, I store it all on Google or.
I probably could. It's stored on Audacity, and I don't really know if he keeps the original files or not. Because once he uploads them and then I upload them to iTunes, they live on iTunes.
Right.
And I can always download them again. So I actually have not had that conversation with him.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you can store them on your website I don't see, they have to be hosted somewhere and there has to be a player associated with it. So I don't see how you could do that directly from Google. I'm just thinking this through. It's worth a try.
Well, I mean, if you think of another Google product like YouTube, that's where things are stored for visual, for video. I would imagine you could store audio, but it almost gets into that whole podcast storage, like a Libsyn or something like that.
Right. And we do have his stuff on Libsyn. And the reason we have it on Libsyn, why do we have it on Libsyn?
To be able to have the search engine optimization of the thing. And then Libsyn is the one that goes out to all of iTunes, Spotify. Yeah. You don't have to do any of that. Yeah. It's the most robust of the, the storage spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And then you update the graphic once, everybody gets updated.
Right, that's right. You're a genius at that. I have to ask a question of you later on that because I'm having trouble with Libsyn doing something. But yes, that's what Libsyn is for, and that's how we do it. Yeah, his system was set up way before me, and so I just pushed the buttons. To tell you the truth.
Linda, I just want to do a quick check because we're at 1:30 and people are still on and we can keep going, but I just wanted to do a quick time check in case there's specific things you want to make sure you cover before we start to lose people or anything like that.
Thank you. Yes, I was just going to say, let's open it up for questions. This is what I wanted to cover. However, I am willing to go into any Google space there is and talk about it. We can talk about calendar. If people have specific questions.
I wouldn't mind calendar because I have an accountability partner who happens to be here, who sends me a link for our next call in a second, and I don't even know how to do it, and I'm petrified to try.
Okay. So just so you know, my calendar is insane. Okay. So when you see it, do not be alarmed. Do not call an ambulance. I am fine, but it's a little crazy. So let me just pull it up. It's this one here. Calendar. Okay. I warned you.
Am I allowed to go?
I know. I know. It's good. It's all good. All right. So I'll give you an overview of how I manage all this. Lisa, what time are we going until?
Well, we usually go just until 1:30.
That's right. I was just having a brain bubble because we used to go till 2. So you guys, I have time. If you can see, I blocked 30 minutes in case we went over. So do you want to keep going? Is that all right with you? Or, I guess people can drop off.
I would say, so let's do this. So keep going, as long as you have people, because I think people are going to kind of grab your ankles as you try to get off the screen here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. So let's keep going. All right. So let me give you an overview of, and bye for those that have to run. You can catch the rest on the replay. So how I use my calendar is this is my whole brain here, my calendar. And what I do is I have different layers. So for example, this is Greg's calendar. And that's because he will, I'll be talking to someone and he'll evaporate and I'll wonder, where'd he go? And I'll say, see, he's playing tennis. Okay, no need to keep wondering where he is. My daughter's calendar is on here. This color right here is my to-do. So these are reminders of things I need to do. So you can see that's most of what's happening. And I'm prioritizing all day. So like this cannot be reprioritized tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I need to reschedule Bob's newsletter. But this could actually move over here. And so all day long, these are the things I'm hoping to get done today, but some of them will move. And so I don't know if that's useful, but that's how I prioritize my day. And that's how I look at everything I need to do. If someone sends me an email and says, can you do X, Y, and Z? If I'm not going to do it like right then, I will add it to my calendar as a to-do.
So then, like I use like either Fantastical on my iPad or phone, or I use the iCal. You're staying away from that and you're doing everything in just the Google Calendar.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So when you create something, you can make it, so test meeting. You can add guests. We'll click on more options. So you can add guests. I'll add you. I can add a location. That's typically where I put the Zoom link. You can make it repeat daily, monthly, annually. You choose the time here. And when I send it, it's going to say, do you want, what is it going to say? All right, you're sending an invitation out. You're sending an invitation. Is that okay? I'm going to say yes. And now it's saying these people are outside of your organization, meaning your email address is not Rocket Girl Solutions. And so I'm going to say yes. And now you have an email calendar right there. Now let's see now I can cancel it, which I really never do. So let's see how that works. More options.
Yeah, it was on that last level.
I just got the email.
There you go, right up on top. Up on top, right near the edit button is a garbage can.
Oh,
move over to.
Thank you. Oh, right. That's right. I have done this. And then you can send a message like, sorry, got to go to the doctor.
Okay. So basically what I'm learning is that I have to start working more in Google to be able to have all these wonderful features. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I find that iCal stuff, it said I asked for a reminder and it doesn't always work. Like I'm missing things sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Yeah, you can set notifications so that things pop up. What I do a lot of times, so when I have a day like today, or, it's sort of back to back, we were talking about this before, I use Alexa. So I'll sit down in the beginning of the day and say, okay, so this is somebody giving a presentation and she's probably going to be a little nervous. So I need to be there 10 minutes on my Zoom. So I'll set a reminder for 2:50 and I'll get on Zoom and be ready. So when she shows up, this is a meeting that I have. So I usually try to color code them so I know what part of my life they belong to.
Mm-hmm. Linda, your colors are different. How did you do that?
So you have, when you choose your calendar over here, you can choose what color it's going to be.
I just don't have that many colors. I like your colors.
Are you sure? Are you using Gmail?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll check it out. Maybe I'm.
Yeah. And so let's have a distinction here. So this is on the purple Belinda calendar. Okay, so this is my primary calendar. If I take this away, you'll see I have a lot of time. And what I did though is I turned it yellow. So let's say right here, let's say I right mouse click this, and now it stays on the Belinda calendar, which is important because I have Acuity looking at that level, at that layer, saying, if there's something here, don't let anybody on her calendar. So that's why it's important that it stays on the calendar, but I can turn it red, just like that, by right mouse clicking. The colors pop up. But I use it to remind myself of things. Like yesterday, I canceled my accounting software that was going to be building on tomorrow because I don't need it anymore. So I put it on my calendar, and it was on my calendar a month ago, and I keep moving it, but I'd spend a lot of time at the end of the week looking at all of these things and making sure that I did them all. So it's my final check to make sure that nothing has been forgotten.
Belinda, how do you see this on your phone or iPad? Like,
it's just like, it's the native calendar app. So
I have to go into Google on my phone.
No. So, okay, that's a good question. So what you do is, in order to get your email and your calendar, you go in. I'm just trying to think about how to explain this. You would go into your settings, and you would, if your email is already going in there, your account's already set up on your phone. It's set up. So there's the Gmail app, and then there's the native app. Native means do you guys know what native means? It's like part of the phone. So it's your actual, it's this. So this is the native email app on your phone, okay?
Yep.
So it's like the included app would be another way to put it.
Okay. But like the calendar itself?
So if you have your email going there, your account is already tied to the native apps. You're just gonna have to go into settings and turn the calendar on.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes. And I don't do it often enough to be able to just kind of whip it out.
Okay, I can.
Figure it out. Yeah.
I'll try.
It's literally, you're going to go into your account and you're going to toggle calendar, and it's going to go bloop. It's all going to be in there.
Thank you.
Linda, I want to pause for 1 second because I personally need to run out. So I just wanted to, and I'm not stopping the meeting at all, but I wanted to say thank you. I was looking for the mind blown emoji multiple times. Couldn't find it. So I'm just going to say, like, unbelievable. So
thank you. Well, all right. So thank you, Lisa. We'll wrap up at, let's say, 1:45, and we'll go from there. You guys will all get the the recording and all of that.
okay, and it was good to see everybody, and we will see you. I will see you soon. The meeting's not ending, but I will see you soon at the coffee.
Have a nice trip.
All right. Yeah. Have a nice trip.
Bye, Lisa. Belinda, I had one question about the dual panes that you had in your Gmail.
Oh, you noticed that. That's too bad. I was afraid of that, but
not this one.
No,
not this one, because this one, yeah.
I know. I don't know how.
Come
that
on
happened.
now.
Yeah, I know. I had someone set that up for me.
Well, you should thank them.
I did. I paid
crazy.
them. I did. So I'll show you how it works. Okay, and then I think what it is multiple. It's displaying multiple inboxes. And to tell you the truth, I tried to do this myself, and I got really frustrated. And someone said they would do it a couple years
ago. It almost looks to me like you have primary mailbox over here on the left, and then over on the right, it's like it's by a delineation.
Yes, so, and the delineation are these little things. Like, so for example, if I click this little, is it this? No, this right here.
Yeah.
So I click this until it's there, and then I refresh. It's going to go over here. Watch this. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
And then if I want to remove it, I go like that, and it goes away. It's
you've set colors.
Yeah. So my
okay. If I figure it out, I'll make sure to spit that to you so you could share it with everyone.
Well, I'll tell you, let me give you a hint, because the reason I had both of my emails here was to show you preview pane. When I was in here, so I reviewed everything I was going to show you guys, because knowing how to do it and teaching someone are two different things. And I was looking here, and it said, reading pane is not available when multiple inboxes is turned on. So multiple inboxes is turned on somewhere in settings. Let's just see if we can. I bet it's under inbox. Multiple, here we go. Here's how she did it. Okay, so inbox type, multiple inboxes. If it has the yellow star, so let's just see, what is this? Has : yellow dash star, important. Has purple question to follow up. Right, I'm gonna just change this and say now, just for fun, and save the changes. So I guess we just did figure it out. And then you go back to inbox, and see, it changed it to now.
Yeah.
So here's the options: yellow star, purple question. Oh, and it's telling you what it's called right there. Like
right when you hover.
Yeah, that's the code for it. Yeah. So has.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
That's cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, it is super cool.
And then you're just going to get those things done. Boom. Love it. Thanks, Belinda.
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, thanks, guys. This was really fun.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you. The members will see you at the member-only event soon, and everybody else. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.